start. Fuck it, I'll start it off. First thing I did this morning, woke up and as Austin said,
Oh,
rubbed the crusties out my
okay.
eyelids and threw on some Limp Bizkit.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
This is the thing about having like a manic disorder is I literally have no recollection of ever saying that. So if I said that probably 5 minutes ago, I have no idea,
No,
but I believe it.
yeah, no, I threw on some Significant Other, got ready,
Mm-hmm.
sat down, ready to podcast. I'm feeling it, boys.
I'm glad
I'm
somebody
feeling
is. I'm
it.
glad two
All
people are.
Austin ever says is that he's sick of all the he said she said bullshit.
Fuck yeah. Welcome to the Devil's Work podcast. The look of disappointment. We're the show that watches fucked up movies and then tells them back to you. So you don't got to watch them. But you should. And today we're doing a very, very special one. At least special for me. I don't know. It's my birthday. We're
You're
doing
my very special one.
yeah, we're
You're my
doing
very good special boy. You're a good boy, Joey. That laugh hit a lot of
Thank you.
feelings right
Thank
there.
you, Daddy.
You're welcome.
We're doing Y2K, directed by Kyle Mooney. And A24's newest horror comedy, as of this recording, newest. It's, I mean, we all have, I think, differing opinions on this movie, but
It's
it's shit. It's a fun ass time, man.
we don't really okay, listen. Yesterday when I saw the movie, saw it on Saturday, saw the movie, you two have very similar opinions, it sounded like from the group chat. For me, it was polar opposite. I was a mess watching this movie. I was
No.
literally rocking back and forth
I
with my
got your
hands in
little
my head.
tantrum. I got your little tantrum
Oh,
over
did you
text
get the
yesterday.
voice audio?
No. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. But
I didn't
okay,
even know you
point.
said
They
what
never
was that.
send. They never send. They always get
That was
corrupted and
that
never
was
send.
that's one of those situations where you're like, oh, I'm glad that one. Like the next morning, you're like, oh, I'm glad that
Yeah.
didn't go through.
I'm glad it didn't go through because like the more I sit on it, I didn't tell you guys this, it's kind of lingered and I'm still not happy, but I'm also not like
His
hateful.
heart grew 3 sizes
Would you
tonight.
would you, would you say that the longer you sit on it, the more you spin?
Yes, yeah. The longer I sit on it, the more it fills me with
God damn
adoration
it.
and care. No, but like all I want to say to start this off is one thing. Joey, I was listening when I was at the laundromat because I have to do that now because I don't have a fucking laundry machine. Was our I saw the TV glow quickie.
Yeah.
There was something I said in there when I was listening back to it. And I said, I really want A24 or whoever the fuck gives Jane Schoenburn the money to get a pink opaque 8-episode season of just the pink opaque. But from the perspective of our main character seeing it as a child. And this, in hindsight, is pretty much the pink opaque.
Yeah.
This feels like this felt like essentially just how I felt watching Beetleborgs and Goosebumps. This is just a Christmas special that were like 90 minutes, those 20-minute episodes. This is that 90-minute special you get once a year, but like rated R. Like how you always wanted Power Rangers to be rated R, and you get those shitty YouTube like fan made fight scenes.
Well,
this
PG
is that
Psycho
with a big
Gorman
budget.
Also.
Well, yeah, that too.
That's what this also.
But that's what that
reminded me
is. That's what Psycho
yeah.
Gorman is. It's that fantasy of getting your childlike wonder like made into like this R-rated.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
I still hated a lot of it, but I give it that.
This is our time. It's our time now. Now is our time
down here.
Down here. It's our time to be the ones who the nostalgia is for. Like we've grown old, boys.
Yeah.
You know, like literally everything in this movie, I was like, oh, I remember that, and remembering is filling me with joy.
Is that what it is? No, that's what it is. I hate the fact it was existential dread.
Oh my God,
of like, I was watching that being the person in 2005 watching the movie that I loved as a kid, referencing things that were like 1984.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I think that's what pissed me off.
I was gonna tell you, literally, I was gonna save the reveal for later, but I was gonna say I think you hated this movie because it reminded you that you're aging. that's not because it was fun, not because it was goofy. It just reminded you that you're closer to death.
The sands of time are withering.
Hey, when they mentioned a Tamagotchi by name, Austin physically reacted like he had just been shot with a pistol.
And no, it was too. It's like she got killed by a Tamagotchi. I'm like, I think I got killed by that fucking Tamagotchi. Are you kidding me? I literally felt like the fucking GTA sound effect in my head when you die.
Oh my god, dude, that Tamagotchi scene was so fucking good.
You're talking about the drill, right?
Yeah. Okay, absolutely.
Okay.
That was probably my favorite kill too. But anyway, this fucking movie was so much fun. But this is A24's probably. Do they have another release after this?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like one of the last
Baby Girl on Christmas.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's my most hyped movie of the year.
Of course you are.
You know what? We're not getting into that because some people listen to this. We're not getting into that right now.
This is one of A24's last, like kind of Hail Marys for the end of the year. I think it's fucking phenomenal addition to the year of movies that we got from A24. I know we've had differing opinions on a lot of the ones. But I think this was a solid one. Kyle Mooney, I know, is directed he did that movie Spree, which I've even talked about. I want to do on this show. It's pretty fun.
He was and this was the thing I'm glad you brought this up. This is the thing that I was feeling the first half of the movie that was annoying me, but I've kind of thought on it after looking him up. He was an SNL cast member from 2013 to 2021. Mm-hmm. And my biggest annoyance the first half of this movie is it just felt like but like they did this and then they did this and then they did this, and now thinking on it, it just feels a lot like sketch comedy.
Yep.
And I gotta say right now, we're not gonna jump into spoilers or anything, but the scene that made me go from hating that to enjoying that in this movie was do you remember the "Ooh, what you say" clip from SNL?
Yeah.
There is a scene in this movie that is just that bit. Yeah. And he was working around that time. And if that's not inspiration for this scene, I'm going to say it takes place in a hallway, then a garage, then a driveway.
Yeah.
And it's literally just that bit.
Yeah.
And I do. This movie's growing on me like a fucking virus, one would say.
Yeah, for sure.
Like Fred Durst does to some.
Do you know what Kyle Mooney's like first, the thing that brought him into the public eye? Do you know what it was?
Remind me.
So again, nostalgia. When we were in high school, like around this era, like
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I don't know. I'm not sure about that one, but
he did. He did, or he was involved with one for sure.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that, but he was on YouTube, and he was the guy who did those videos where he'd be like, "Hey, bro, you got that park? You got that Oh shit, bro! Like I'm trying to get hella high."
That's so funny that he came back around and did the exact same shit for this movie, dude.
And then at the end of that skit, I don't even smoke, bro.
Yeah,
I was, because I was seeing, I showed the trailer to my grateful significant other, because I was like, this is the worst movie I've ever fucking seen when I got home last night. Watched the trailer for this, and then the fucking the related, it was all the Kyle Mooney clips from like Life in 99 and stuff like that, and I was like, oh, is this like promo? And then I was remembering all of those things, and I was like, oh shit, this is that guy. This is that guy from that thing.
He's been around forever, dude.
It's crazy. You want to talk about the sands of time. You know how like the guy from that thing is a documentary. There's a documentary with that name. And that is like a phenomena of like just shitty TV shows like CSI and stuff, and then they break out into a big movie. Now it's literally, that guy on YouTube 15 years ago, he's directing a movie now. 100%. And it's just like, YouTube didn't come out 15 years ago. It came out 20 years ago next year. And that's breaking my soul. And I think I didn't hate this movie. I think I just hate who I am right now in my life because I'm too old. I'm just projecting my age.
Yeah.
It is crazy that there was a point where YouTube and E-Bombs World were like competitors.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Oh, I never thought about that.
There's a
You made
point where
me
you
put
could
my
like
drink down.
you could
Oh.
reasonably at one point in history decide to go to E-Bombs World to find something
You
instead of
could you
YouTube.
could watch Papa Smurf Can I Lick Your Ass on E-Bombs World instead of YouTube. You could watch the
Can I
Ultimate
lick your
Showdown
ass?
or
I
Badger Badger
fucking
Badger Mushroom
swear to
Mushroom
God, dude, that's so
Oh
stupid.
my
on
And
God.
either
just
one.
just for the audience,
Proto memes.
we know you have a choice in horror podcasts, and we'd like to thank you for choosing the Devil's
These are
Work today.
things that
Shut the
we
fuck
did
up.
back in our youth, and we tie an onion to our
Oh,
belt, which was the style at the time. We all wore skate shoes, and
Oh man.
there's a point in this where these skaters walk by the main character and they look at his shoes, and at the beginning they show
Yeah,
he's putting on
yeah.
ES Eric Costins, and I turn to Amanda and I go, ah, those are one of the best pairs of shoes of
I
all
know.
fucking time.
I went
Like
alone.
I
Oh.
would beat somebody to death in front of their mother for a pair of
Do you what?
fucking Costins or Excels. Oh my God.
You're
I would
unlocking
shoot a
something.
CEO for a pair of
You're
Eric.
Oh, easily.
you're un,
I do that for
you're
free.
un, you're unlocking something. My senior year, I was a fucking loser all of high school, and I forget who it was. I think it wasn't Chris Cole, but it was like some like pro skate
Yeah, yeah.
or like whoever was big in 2012, and I wore them, and some fucking freshmen were in my art class in the table across from me, and they looked at my shoes and they're like, foot's not even worn down. Dude's a fucking poser. He doesn't even skate. Why is he fucking? And then they said like the name
Yep.
of the guy, and I'm like, yeah, I watch it. I'm about it. I had back surgery. I can't fucking skate anymore. Fuck you. And like when that scene happened, when they came down the
They
stairs and they're
came
like
down, they
fucking
talk
poser,
shit.
and
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh,
I,
I
I
really did. We're talking about this now. I'm sorry to interrupt. I do like this movie. I just hated it because
Yep.
he was my high school experience, minus
Yeah.
that shitty plaid t-shirt. I at least had good
well,
taste in fashion, but God, was I just that kid.
well, that's the funny thing is like as that scene happened, I turned to Amanda and I go, "Oh, those kids are definitely me." Like I was that kid.
I
I
was
wish I
that kid.
wasn't. I wish I wasn't.
There
Even
was
like
so many.
literally the shorties I had the exact same shorty sweater that kid had, the long sleeve with the S's on the sleeves, and then it just
Yep.
had like Horty across the chest. Like, yeah, I
Yeah,
had
that
that exact same shit.
the red element thermal that you cut the thumbs in the fucking sleeves so
Yeah,
you can
yep.
wear it. Yep, 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 yep. Oh yeah, we're old. We're aging. We're decrepit.
I
Crow's
love
feet.
that
Yeah,
there was archetypes that like in the beginning
Oh,
when they get to the party that there's just all the archetypes of every single like group
yeah,
and like
yeah.
yeah.
that. It was so good, dude.
I
I
Yeah.
forgot
love
about
I
the Oh,
No, go
I
ahead, go ahead.
forgot about the 1920s fucking swing revival in the
Yeah,
Oh my
1990s.
yeah,
God.
yeah.
I forgot all
I
about
was
that.
dying. I was absolutely dying when they started playing fucking Switchblade
Yeah,
347.
yeah.
I just shot back in time so hard.
It's
In
so dude,
two
it's so
layers. I
funny,
went
man.
doop, doop.
Yeah, exactly, dude. It's so funny. I'm telling you, like this, the movie. We'll get into spoilers soon. We will very much so. But like, honestly, I don't know. And I was curious about this because I was thinking about this because I was like, this feels like a movie that I would eventually show my niece, and I would
Yeah.
have to explain a lot of the references to. But also at the same time, it does feel like you said, watching those kids shows or watching these things where it was like I was also trying like while I was watching, I was like, okay, nostalgia is great, it's fantastic, but I was trying to like detach while I was watching it. I was like, how is this as a movie though? Like as I'm watching it,
That
you know, like, and so that was my question as it was going on, and it really does a great job as a horror comedy, just as setting up the characters, setting up all this, and the plot was really solid. It moved along really well, the pacing. And like I
It
said, the characters are so memorable that it just works as a comedy as itself.
I
it
wanted
it
oh
doesn't have it doesn't have like a solid, insightful, concise internal logic.
No.
Like on its face, everything that happens, the robots, all of that stuff, the virus, like them, fighting it in this town mattering to such an extreme. None of that really makes sense. None of it is like really good or consistent,
Mhm.
but it never really pretends to be.
Yeah,
So
no,
that
never,
makes
never.
that makes it okay. It's just dumb dream
And I
movie
think
logic.
that was my issue, is that I projected because I expected it to expect to be that way. So I didn't like
Yeah.
it because I was like, it's A24. I expect you guys, and my expectations for this movie, because we're talking about it now and you two are getting into it, and I'm like kind of flushing out my pretentiousness. And I'm like, it really was my expectation, because I expect something from Neon. I expect something from A24. I
Yeah.
expect something from Film 4 and Mubi and fucking even Marvel. I have an expectation.
Yeah.
And this really was, even Everything Everywhere All at Once had that level of like forethought and like
Yeah.
realness, but it had that goofy haha. And I
Mhm.
was like, oh, this seems like a goofy haha, but with that level of forethought and like depth. And I didn't get that. So I think I was just, aside the fact that I feel like a decrepit bag of bones, I I didn't get that. And it was very loose. It was very low budget. And I like that because it reminded me of a lot of movies I've talked about to you guys both. I gush about this low budget movie, Chompy and the Girls. It reminded me a lot of that. It's on
Yeah.
Amazon Prime.
Yeah. You have talked about that.
Uncle Pisshead or Uncle Dickhead or something. It's like this punk, think Green Room, but with demonic possessions.
That's
It's
amazing. That
crazy. I
actually
have to
sounds fucking awesome. What the fuck?
Uncle Peckerhead is what it's called. It's fucking nuts. And like
Yeah.
other movies like that, like Benny Loves You, like it reminded me a lot of these like B
Oh yeah, Benny
movies
Loves You is
that
so
get
good.
on streaming. Like streaming B movies are so different from like VHS B movies.
Mhm.
And this reminds me a lot of like those Amazon Prime, like you're deep diving because you're bored one Saturday and
Yeah.
you find this.
Mhm.
And there is a lot to like about this in hindsight, but that's all I got to say.
I don't think we even gave the premise for this fucking movie.
1999. If you
No,
were
not
alive in
really.
1999, or just
Yeah.
Google the Wikipedia for Y2K in 1999,
Yeah.
and there you go. That's the premise.
That's pretty much
I
yeah,
think
like
I think it's the easiest to pitch in the
it is a
room
very,
movie of
very
all
easy pitch.
time.
Yeah.
What if Y2K but real?
Can
Yeah,
I?
literally.
You know,
Yeah,
that's
literally.
it. That's it. Just what if Y2K
Yeah.
actually happened?
Can
And we should
And
also
then
explain that for younger audience who might not know
hold on,
what
hold
that
on. Wait,
was too at the
wait.
same
Let me
time.
do it. Let me do it because I have
now that's crazy.
I'm just
It's
saying.
crazy.
I'm
Do you
just
want to know
saying.
why? Do you want to know why I want to explain this? Because I have an embarrassing confession to make. I went home after the movie and I'm explaining the premise of the movie to my significant other. There's an age gap. It's not big, but there's an age gap, and doesn't remember Y2K.
Yeah.
Wasn't there for
Yeah,
Y2K,
yeah, for sure.
and hurt me a bit. Don't like think, yeah. Oh, and I was just like, fuck, I'm so old. But yeah, Y2K was essentially the belief. It was the same as 2012. People that don't remember
Yeah,
Y2K remember
exactly. Yeah, remember
2012,
2012.
2012.
Yeah.
It's that. It's the
Yeah.
whole Nostradamus
Mhm.
calendar. There's going to be a
The
virus.
apocalypse. Yeah, there's
Yeah, the apocalypse through technology, because
technology. Yeah,
technology
exactly.
was becoming so global and
Mhm.
knew that it was the big scary thing. There was going to be a virus that shuts down every piece of technology, but that also includes like nuclear launch codes or the banking system.
Exactly.
And it was
Yeah.
just this whole scare tactic to freak
Mhm.
people out. And I remember 1999 because I remember my biological dad took me to a party because he had me that weekend, and they had like
When
the
I
finished basement
was
with the
a
nice
young
bar.
Young
boy,
boy.
my father.
Back in my day, I had to walk 3 miles in the freezing snow to get to this goddamn New Year's Eve party when I was 6 years old.
Oh, that's funny.
And no, but I remember he was like clearly drunk. It's like 11:30, and he comes upstairs and he's like, "Hey, buddy, I just want you to know I love you." Like he
Yeah,
wasn't
sincerely. Yeah,
conspiratorial
yeah,
at
yeah.
all. He was a fucking asshole,
But
but
it
he
was
wasn't
just it
conspiratorial.
was a
He was
sincere
just like
moment.
in
Yeah.
case. And I'll
Yeah.
never forget, we were playing, like all the kids were playing with toys, and he's like, "I just want you to know." And the parents came up and they're like, "I love you, Stacy. I love you, Austin. I love you. I love," and everyone's just like, "I'm gonna hug my son real quick. Okay, back downstairs to party." It was so
The-
real. Like it was such a
Yeah.
real fear, but for
Yeah.
what?
It's fucked
Drive
up
those sales up.
because I'm realizing as a kid the way that felt, because it was like I didn't think anything would happen, but there was like oh, but what if,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And now that's how elections feel as an adult. And Y2K just keeps happening.
Just
Yeah,
like fuck it, but
It
maybe.
just keeps happening.
Yeah.
that's so good. 100%. But yeah, okay. Well, now we can transition into spoilers. I feel
Yeah.
if you don't want to spoil it for you, go out and check this
It's
out.
I wasn't sure for like the first half hour how comedy and how horror it was gonna be.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Hard,
Yeah,
hard
we
same,
both
hard
pointed.
same. Yeah,
Because I didn't even
hard
think
fucking
I
same.
didn't even think this was gonna be a horror movie because I
Yeah, it
just
was
knew
just super
Kyle
bad.
Mooney,
Yep.
A24, Y2K. Yeah, I just expected super bad, but for us,
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah, for sure.
what's the movie that's famously
instead of
quoted as like
instead
the
of
teen movie?
Goldschlager, it's fucking it's fucking
Uh,
hypnotic.
Colt 45. No, but it
Fucking
was oh, I'm drawing a blank. I don't know. Awkward
It's fine.
pause.
It's fine. It's
hit him.
fine.
You know the only thing that this was missing, and maybe it's because I was in high school like a few years after this, like 2004, 2005, is the God, I'm trying to think of the name of it. Those like shitty flavored vodkas.
Oh,
Oh
Mad
yeah, with all
Dog,
the no,
No,
not Mad
not
Dog.
Mad
Yeah,
Dog.
I know
I think
exactly which
I
ones you're talking about. They came in
Burnett's.
those like slim bottles that had like the shit at the bottom.
and it would always say like I don't know why I remember triple distilled being on it. But it was just always like fruity
Yeah,
vodka
yeah.
flavors, and so it was just what all of the like girls that I went to high school with
Mhm.
would drink. I can't think
Is
of the
it
name. The
Burnett's? That's what we used to drink here for that. That was the equivalent to that.
the
No,
logo
I
looks
don't
a
know
lot like a
that one.
Swisher logo. I remember thinking that a
That's
lot.
hilarious. Yeah, but all of the fact that this is reminding us of all the degenerative shit that we just did when we were
Oh yeah.
younger, or we're like around a witness too. Like it's so funny how like all of this is in there. But again, I think for an older crowd, obviously they will love the movie for the clear nostalgia factor of it. But again, for a younger crowd, I still feel like this is a very,
Well,
very, very good movie for a
and to
younger
ride on
crowd.
that point, my big issue was in the moment feeling like I couldn't believe that this was in 1999
Hmm.
because I was so detached because I'm so chronically online.
Yeah, that's fair.
And kids that are like 18 to 24 right now are dominating TikTok because it's
Hmm.
TikTok and that's what it's for. And what I see on TikTok is just this, just just Slipknot t-shirts,
Yeah.
backwards red hats,
Yeah, that's
this
what I'm
music.
saying. Yeah,
So
all of
it's
this
like
shit just came back around.
it's just perfect and like obviously that's how time works. There's like this famous quote that I learned in college because I sat in on a fashion class and it's like they broke down fashion as like a math equation and it's like 20 years plus over this equals fashion. So you just take 20 years
Yeah,
prior and then
literally
add something to it and that's
everything
fashion.
is cyclical. Yeah.
It's I had to Google so hard. I had to fucking become Hacker Man Smirnoff.
Oh, what the
That's
fuck? I still
yeah.
drink that. Yeah, it's
Shout out
garbage, but
Smirnoff.
it works.
Yeah.
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 It does look
That's funny
exactly like
as
the
fuck, dude.
Swisher
Yeah, it
logo. Oh
does
my
look
God.
Right? Thank God I'm not crazy.
No, you're not. But like with the internet now, with that cultural, like this is, I think, the first generational gap that like kind of meshes more perfectly than
This
others because
bridges it perfectly.
with
I
Yeah.
social media, there's like not only like there's like less of a language barrier. Like I follow a lot of like etymology stuff and like they talk about how like accents are kind of not fading, but like kind of melding because everybody
Interesting.
talks online. But it feels like that kind of with generational stuff because
Yeah.
like yeah, like kids take stuff from past generations and it's
Mhm.
shared. That's the whole joke of like, hey mom, have you heard of this? And it's like, buddy, I did that 25 years ago.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
like for
oh
this movie in
you
particular,
think Grandmama didn't butt fizz?
yeah, like like at the end where the mom grabs the joint and I'm just like, yeah, it's kind of one of those moments where it's like, honey, yeah, I don't
Hmm.
fuck around. I know.
Yeah,
But like
yeah.
this is like that first generational gap, like millennial and like Gen Z, Gen A more so, that like kind of melds into like I look at somebody that's like 18 and I look at them and I'm like, yeah, I get you. And then I look at someone that's like 38 and I'm like, I completely get you. And I feel like in a lot of previous generations, they don't have that because the internet is so melding of everybody.
Well,
and it's really cool.
To that point, though, too, we all grew up on the internet. This movie starts
Yeah.
with an AOL like messenger thing, and it's like it literally, I think, like to your point, because we all grew up on the internet. It very much lent to, okay, we can share these ideas from like what's going on now. You know what I mean?
It's funny how many visual gags there are in the movie that are literally just like, it's almost like just historical footage of what we were doing.
Yeah,
yeah.
Sure.
And like literally, like it showed the desktop, and everyone was like, ah. And then they were like, "Oh, he's burning a CD."
Yeah.
Are you saying that the audience do that?
Like everyone was laughing so fucking.
I gotta say,
dude, I was cracking up so fucking hard.
This is crazy. This is what I wanted to bring up earlier. I don't know if you were in the Zoom call for this, but Joey was. I saw this at 4:45, and there was one viewing separated from the rest, and I didn't really think. I just went because it was the closest time. It was 25% off, so I'm like, yeah, $8.99. It was subtitled in the theater, so I didn't think about the fact that everyone in the theater, halfway through the movie, because I was high as shit, they were all deaf because they were signing to each other. There was like 6 other people, and they were like talking in the theater, but signing.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is incredible. Everyone can just be the worst and talk during a movie, but also like be completely silent. And I was like, I need to just go to these. And then I'm like, is this the colonialism in you? Are you gentrifying the fucking deaf community right now? And like, I thought the first half of this movie that I was justified in feeling like this movie was bad because not a single person laughed, not a single person acknowledged anything. And then I turned to like see the reactions of other people, and I'm like, oh shit, the 3 couples in this are all deaf.
Yeah.
They're not gonna, they weren't really reacting at all. They were just kind of like signing to each other, like talking to one another. And I was just like, oh, I need to chill on these edibles real quick.
You're silly.
But yeah,
so funny, dude.
I was so like certain when I left that theater that everyone fucking hated the movie, and then in hindsight I'm like, no, your dumbass was just high and you went to a deaf screening of this movie. Because even the person that I bought the ticket from, because I didn't buy him online for once, was like, are you sure you want to go to this one? Because we were talking and she could clearly tell that I couldn't hear her. And I was like, yeah, it's fine. Like, I don't want to wait till 7 p.m. I'm already here. It's 4:00. And she's like, okay. And then, like in hindsight, I'm like, I'm an idiot. Everyone probably loved that movie. They were probably gabbing about it the whole fucking time. With their fucking phalanges.
Yeah, no, I absolutely, I'm telling you, I think like the entire time, the little bits of things that they were dropping, I was fucking screaming at, dude. I was crying, laughing when they introduced Fred Durst later on. That was just, I was crying. Like, everyone in the theater was silent, and I was just fucking dying.
I've seen so many comments online that are like, I understand how MCU fans felt when Cap picked up Mjolnir.
literally, yeah, literally.
But here's the thing with that. When they reveal Fred and he's like in his cloak, I'm like, it's Fred Durst. Because here's the thing. They open it with like them getting in the car and Limp Bizkit's playing. The characters that are like the assholes, the posters on the video place are Limp Bizkit. The assholes with the video camera are playing Limp Bizkit. They're talking about Limp Bizkit. And the first thing I thought of was not I Saw the TV Glow, because that came out this year.
No, yeah.
And he helped produce it and started in it. But was The Fanatic, where there's that famous scene where he gets in the car with his kid. He's like, yo, back in my day, this was real music. And they play Nookie or whatever. Or Rollin.
No, they don't even play. No, they don't even play. That's the funniest part about that scene.
They're not playing it?
They do not play an older Limp Bizkit song. They play a newer Limp Bizkit song. I was like, what the fuck is that?
They play Limp Bizkit and they're going off about how great it is. I'm like, of course, the director of this movie would do that. And so, like, when I'm seeing that, I'm like, he definitely
like
had a part in this.
Tarantino having Salma Hayek put her feet in his mouth.
Exactly. I was gonna say it's like a Tarantino-esque bullshit thing. And then I'm like, so when they have the hood up, and I'm like, oh, this random guy. Well, we just saw his head get cut off. It's not that guy. And I'm like, it's probably Fred Durst. And then you see Fred Durst, and I'm like, God damn it, it's Fred Durst.
Yeah.
And then you watch the trailer after, and I'm like, you Blade Runner'd me. You 2049'd me. You showed me Fred Durst. How is this going to be a review?
He was part of all the promotional stuff, though.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I didn't see any of that.
I was going to say, they put them all over the posters and everything.
Okay.
They shouldn't have, because I knew
for sure
because of that. It would have been nice to like be more surprised by it.
It
I barely saw anything. I saw Y2K, Kyle Mooney, and then there was a post with just like the character posters.
Exactly, that's what I saw.
And they had Fred Durst, and they should not have done that. They should have
fair.
just trusted that the movie would sell on its own, because I don't think anyone went for Fred Durst.
Yeah,
but then he ended up being a pretty significant part of the movie.
Yeah,
and when he
end,
did roll into a main character,
when he did rollin.
God damn it!
I figured that was on purpose. I figured
it wasn't on purpose. No, but when he did rolling into a new character, I did start to like him as like a built-in plot point. But yeah, like at first I'm like, why are we getting this like shaman ass Fred Durst just bitching about
that shit?
Everything.
Fucking hilarious,
when he said maybe video games and movies do rot kids' brains, then he said, "God damn it, y'all got me talking like Tipper fucking
Tipper Gore."
Yeah, Tipper Gore.
The Tipper Gore and then the Enron joke were the only two where I'm like, I hate that I have to explain this to somebody that's probably like 22.
The Enron one was so funny.
Those two were good. Everything else you can kind of pick up on no matter what age, but those two I'm like, yeah, I feel old right now.
So two things we need to address real quick. One real fast. The best joke in the entire movie, the funniest part of the entire movie, this is what I will remember the most from this. When Farkas takes the rollerblades, and he's like, I almost was in X Games 97. and then he
prelims, baby.
He sees the pole and he's like, oh yeah, check it out, bitches. Tries to grind, smacks his head and dies immediately. Yeah. Oh my god, I was beside myself.
And that's what I was talking about
too. I liked him a lot. I liked his character.
With Kyle Mooney being an SNL cast member from that period of time that he was on there, that opening scene where we get the drill kill with who's our lead nerdy tech girl, the popular girl,
Rachel Zegler.
Wow. Yeah, when they're
name.
When they're Laura, was it Roxy something?
I think it is Laura. I think it is Laura.
When they're leaving to the garage, her friend gets her head drilled in, and it's like sad, and you're kind of like, okay, that is fucked.
Good kill though.
That was
really good kill.
That was the ecstasy. The raver girl, right?
Oh yeah.
It's how funny. Yo, MDMA puts holes in your brain.
There have
been studies.
Yeah, that shit, dude, fucking ruined me. He's the best character of the movie.
He was so good. Also as a shaman kind of
but like as like she dies and you're getting like the what you say of like Laura's character development of like, come on, we have to go in the garage, and then we get the reveal that our main character's best friend, who's also the side main character, gets fucking murked through that door. Then we get the real what you say, wild. Which was genuinely surprising. I was like, oh, you're just gonna kill off a main character like that. But then we leave the garage, and then we get the side character's side character to die, and then we get another what you say. I'm like, this is just SNL.
I was this. I was kind of thinking like, this is an insane clip to just be killing people off at. But then they add more people, so it works out in an interesting way. But oh my god, Farkas, I feel like
about to tear these streets up was so fucking funny.
It reminded me of like a rated R. Do you remember the movie that no one remembers? I think I've brought this up before, and Joey like magically remembered it, and you are genuinely the only person that ever remembered this movie, Star Kid.
Yeah,
exactly. It's crazy.
Fuck with Star Kid.
That movie when he eats the cheeseburger.
Yep.
I've got a vague recollection, and I feel like there's like some weird, fleshy, almost.
It's body horror.
The
for
body,
kids.
It's like
The alien, it's Venom for kids. The alien is a suit, and you get into it, and then he fights another alien cockroach guy.
The purple goo that's inside.
Yeah. This is exactly what I was
Star Kid.
Literally, this
is it's Guyver for babies.
100%, yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's literally just Star Kid, but now.
Because the kid's in the suit, and he's like, I'm hungry. And then he chews up the cheeseburger, and he's like, here you go. And it's in a perfect ball.
Yep.
Yeah. And he's like, I'm not eating that.
Holy
This is
shit,
what that movie reminded me of with the fucking big robot battle.
This is the most member berries ass episode.
Member berries? Yeah, literally. This is all this is. Yeah.
This whole fucking movie was, I love Member and Chewbacca.
Yeah.
And that's what was great in hindsight during this conversation. But what I hated was, as much as I said this reminded me of the Pink Opaque season I wanted from A24 to make, we were also in that episode. Ironically, I listened to this like 4 days at the laundromat before I saw this movie. Just went back and I'm like, fuck it. I saw the TV Glow. I want to rewatch it soon. So I want to listen to this again, see how I felt initially. And I'm listening to it with you. And I was saying how we were talking about how like people can get locked into nostalgia and like rot away in it.
Mm-hmm.
And for the first half of this movie, it really felt like that to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is everything I didn't want I saw the TV Glow to be. This felt like the antithesis of like what Jane Schutberg was saying to avoid.
You're so right. That's
because
so
like
funny.
the quotes they were even saying, like when the guy gets his face burned off by the machine, he's like, aerosol, I use gel, or like big pimpin'. Like shit like that. Oh, that's a Tamagotchi says name brand trademark joke here. Ha 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 he.
Yeah.
And then who was the soccer guy? Was that the Stay guy from the TikTok song? Fucking Kid Leroy?
Oh yes. Yeah, Kid Leroy. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just like, that guy was just the puka shell wearing douchebags, like shit like that. I'm like, this feels like what I saw the TV Glow told you to avoid.
That's a guy that I look at and I'm like, bro, you're lucky I'm 18 and we'd be fighting right now. Bro, you know, like
I do have to say
sucks.
He sucked, but the one point where I got him and I saw him as a person was when he's like, can you stop calling me fucking Soccer Chris? My name is Chris. Shut the fuck up. Who the fuck are you? And they were like, it's Piss Mouth. What do you mean, who is that?
That was something that I thought was really funny, was all that the like funny. Sides. Like I love the humor of like oh man, this is like a bad unwoke example, but like Deuce Bigelow, like when he's he's on dates and it's like constantly other people like commenting from the side, and like there's a lot of that in this movie where they're just like in that scene where like you just hear all these people throughout the room just like, no, that's Piss Mouth. Oh yeah, that's Piss Mouth.
And I have to say that this is an example of a movie that should be subtitled, because seeing subtitles in a theater was not only crazy in general, but having a movie rely on that as the gag was really cool, because you miss a lot of them, and there's a lot of like subtle ones, and then they pop up on the bottom, and I'm like, all right, that was funny as fuck. I got to give it that much.
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying. It reminds me. You hate watching. I'm glad that you can go back and now I actually enjoy.
That's why I like this fucking conversation that we have every once in a while. It's nice.
The other thing I wanted to point out was how much I loved CJ.
Oh yeah,
who was CJ?
The underground.
I'm a lyrical individual miracle. Dude, that guy.
Literally, CJ reminded me of you.
I thought the same thing. I literally sat there going, do I suck at rap?
I don't suck at rap, but that's 100%.
No, not at all. But
100%.
Dude, like literally, I was watching. I was like, it's just Chad.
If me and Chad met when we were 17, it would be the lesbian girl and CJ on the swing sharing a joint. Yeah, that's me and Chad on the swing.
I loved their relationship. Like as they became friends, the fact that I was dying. The fact that we got a Lord of the Rings joke near the end. Did you guys catch that?
Which one? There was so many.
I never thought I would die next to a rap rocker.
Oh yeah,
I didn't even homie. I didn't even register. No,
dude, that would fucking kill me. Dude.
I was absolutely fucking dying. And like when we walked in, they had posters for War of the Rohirrim, and I pointed out to Amanda, and I was like, "Oh, we're gonna be back here next week." And she looked, and she was like, "She goes, the monkey." Because there's a fucking poster for that right next to it. And then she sees Osgood Perkins' name and she goes, oh, obviously not that one.
Dude, no, I'm excited. Dude, I'm so excited for that fucking movie. We're doing a quickie. Fuck you. We're doing a quickie.
Jordan Peele is producing the monkey,
my ticket.
No, I'm gonna pay. I'll pay for your ticket.
Someone has to pay for my ticket to that. I'm not giving a fucking dollar to that.
Fuck you. We're doing it.
He's getting paid by Peele. The man himself to produce
dude, that's
that.
What I'm saying. It's Jordan Peele.
I didn't like Long Legs as much as Joey, but I didn't hate it as much as you. And man, I'm excited for the monkey.
We all love Nope. We all love Us. We all love But
did you see the full trailer for that? That shit.
Much like when you would, in the era that this film we're talking about took place, Y2K. Much like in that time, you would see DVD covers that say Quentin Tarantino approved or whatever the
I already
fuck.
know what you're talking about.
And often those movies would suck shit.
So it's like the hit clips, like the monkey is the hit clips where it's like you hear 30 seconds of like fucking NSYNC and you're like, damn, this shit's a banger. Because I had the hit clip. Do you remember hit clips? You're looking at me confused, Joey.
Oh no, I remember.
Oh, dude, what? It was like a little keychain and it's a little fucking microchip and you stick it into a little CD player and then it plays 30 seconds of a pop song. And there was like, get your booty on the floor tonight, ain't my day. Oh, and that's the best part of the song. And then you listen to the whole song when you're trying to be nostalgic when you're 29 and you're about to turn 30 and you're like, I need to go back to hit clip era. And then you listen to it, you're like, this song sucks. This is the only good part of this song. That's what that felt like.
That's the crazy part is like the shit that was just being marketed and thrown at the wall at that point. Just like, invest hundreds into this little accessory so that you can listen to 30 seconds of each song that you like.
Do you remember Video Nows? They were like CD players, but they played Nickelodeon shows in black and white, and you could get like one episode of Fairly Odd Parents on it. It was they're called Video Now. They were fucking terrible, and I had.
Damn, you were in the shit even deeper than I was,
dude. I had no friends. All I had was technology.
Me neither, but I was
social media. Why do you think I want an AI robot as a best friend so bad? I saw the Iron Giant. It changed my life. I just want a robot wife that I could be best friends with. And then a robot best friend that could be my best man at my robot wife's wedding. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
He's just trying to build a robot family.
Oh my god,
just trying to build a robot family.
Kyle Mooney in this fucking movie was the best character, hands down. I want to talk about him for a little bit.
Oh my god, Joey! Did you just say Kyle Mooney? He was the stoner.
Yeah.
That's just clicking in my head. He was the director.
How fucking high were you?
I was so gone. I took 2.5 milligrams. I looked up the director before the movie started.
5 millis.
Milligrams. Yeah, I fucking gobbled that shit down. I went, gulp, gulp, gulp. Dude, I fucking powered up like the mushroom in Mario.
Fucking amazing in this movie. Like the minute that he's on screen, like everything. And then his fucking final stand with the robot.
That makes that seem so much better.
Him digging his fucking sandals into the dirt.
I knew with 100% certainty that was not going to go well.
No, of course not. Yeah,
I was just like, not for 1 second did I allow myself to believe it. But I did.
He was like, I'm about to go see God, and he just pours the fucking pills out.
He said, it's time to transcend, y'all. But the devil sticks. I'm sorry, Austin. I just gotta say the devil sticks. No, Earlier, he's like, "Hey, I got devil sticks, y'all," and he pulls them out and just starts dropping them. And he's like, "Oh, I just started. I'm kind of a beginner."
That's what I was gonna say.
And then he pulls out the devil sticks and like does it for like a few seconds before getting in his fight stance. Like,
I was gonna say that, and the fact that like I did love that scene right there where he gets beheaded. I love it even more realizing that I'm a fucking idiot and that's the director of the movie. I looked up this man. I looked up the director. I looked up his filmography, read some of his wiki. I knew exactly what he looked like. Never registered in my head watching the movie. I'm an idiot. There was no prosthetics on that man.
I love afterwards when they go, he was a good guy. And then Laura goes, yeah, he was pretty cool for a white guy with dreads.
A white guy with dreads, yeah.
A white guy that got a bunch of minors high all the time and sold drugs to him. Yeah, he's totally cool. Yeah.
Hey, back in my day, we appreciated
it's the only way you could get them. Yeah, we didn't have like cafe dispensaries that looked like Apple stores.
You're telling me you didn't buy weed from a guy named White Mark?
No, I bought weed from like you'd get like your middle school drug dealer friend who would get his weed from downtown, and then you'd meet at a halfway point, and then a random car would come up to you, and a hand would come out and says money, and then they just throw you a bag of stems.
I was gonna say, yeah,
you take it because you're the 16-year-old white kid from the suburbs, and you just take it. You're like, okay, yeah.
Okay, yeah, you know that's an Offspring song, right?
What?
See, you missed the part.
That exact scenario you just described.
Really? Oh my god, send it to me later. I might like them.
Yeah,
that's every Offspring song. Actually,
that's my least favorite band of all time, and Joey hates that. That's true. So send me that.
Go fuck yourself, buddy.
I was gonna say the only part you were missing from my experiences was when you have to sit in that parking lot for 40 minutes and call the guy 3 times.
Yes. Oh, I'll be right out. I'm putting my shoes on. Yeah, I'm eating dinner right now.
I was just explaining to one of my coworkers. He's like 50. He's very, straight edge and stuff. So like he doesn't get it, but he doesn't really judge me. He knows I smoke weed and everything. And I said that to him one time. We drove by a dispensary and he was like, these things are everywhere. And I was like, yeah, it's a lot better than the old days. And I had to explain it to him. And he was just like, this is so fascinating. How, what? Like, and I'm like, yeah, we were at the whims because it was illegal in those days.
You're one step closer to smoking him out.
Yeah.
One step closer. His wife stresses him out a lot. So one day.
There you go. That's
no, but the one thing I wanted to say to end on that like boss battle, that mini boss battle we had with the stoner, is that like the one thing I didn't like about that is I felt bad for him because I was like, you took all of those drugs and didn't feel the effects of any of them. You gave no time for that to kick in.
He dies with a smile on his face.
That's true.
I know he does, but he was smiling the whole fucking time. That guy's a goddamn fucking martyr. I love that man.
Was funny as fuck.
Such a waste of drugs,
head
though.
Rolls and it's just wide-eyed grinning.
And that was a good head. It looked fake, but it was a good head.
Oh yeah, it was a good one. No,
that was a great prosthetic head.
The effects on this movie are fantastic. That's the thing too. Like the kills are good. The effects are really good. Like all of the creatures look fucking awesome.
It's a $15 million budget, so that's pretty decent.
Wow, that's pretty decent.
And the thing that is crazy, I didn't think it'd be that much, but the thing I thought about Chad on was like the kills were so implemented in the script, like the callbacks. Like my favorite kill, you said it was the drill, but mine was the boner kill, where like the guy has his dick in the blender.
That was funny.
That's my favorite kill. Funny. And it's just the ability that this movie has to call back to every single thing. Like as soon as they show the condom, I'm like, okay, that the way he entices the condom into being conversational, like that's gonna be the end of the movie. They're gonna do something with the condom.
It was found in the library in a copy of The Giver.
Yeah, I know. That part was good. That part got me good. All right, that part, so I give it that. But like this movie calls back to every single thing it sets up. And I was like, Chad's going to like that much at least. I really thought Chad was going to hate this movie. But I'm glad he likes it because now that I'm talking about it with Joey, I didn't want it to be another green room epidemic.
Oh my God, dude.
Well, it works because it is aware, like when
hyper aware.
The whole dick in the blender thing is like stupid. It's like in what world, like how did that happen? But it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't really matter. It's not about being like, oh well, this is airtight from all angles. Like we've thought about every aspect of human psychology and why you would and wouldn't do these things, and everyone has these motives. It's just shit happening.
Yeah,
I don't know who produced this movie, but or actually no, I do because I saw the trailer and Jonah Hill was like a main producer.
Yeah,
which as soon as I like thought about mid '90s, I'm like, oh, this makes perfect sense. But seeing Tim Heidecker as the father, and then thinking about like the 3D effects that like, did you stay for the end credits, like the whole dance sequence
right after the words, where he's dancing the song,
like that? I'm like, this is so Tim and Eric, and like a lot of the humor I kind of gave credence to. I just assumed he was like kind of a producer on this. I'm like, okay, this feels very Tim and Eric. This feels very like goofy. Like I think I hated it because I expected more not Hereditary, but more of what this was with a little bit more serious, elevated tone to it.
More elevated tone, yeah.
And I like the fact in hindsight, as much as I hated it when I saw it, the aversion or the adversion, however you pronounce it, of expectation on like, oh no, we're just gonna give you some shitty B movie. But to the highest degree of a $15 million budget. And like that is very cool. I do like that. Now that
that's what I'm saying. And then okay, like also on top of all that too, as someone who had those conversations a lot surrounding music around this time, like and the types of conversations that they're having surrounding music, it felt very funny to see that, but also like very much like, oh, that's cool, you captured that. Like it, like the whole thing when they're they're sitting around talking like the rap rock thing, we're like, what? Like, it's so stupid. Like, why do you listen to that like corporate bullshit? And he's like talking about like, oh, well, I'm listening to rappers who actually spit some real shit and this and that. And I
The
was like,
prophecies of intelligence.
yeah, the prophets of intelligence.
POI.
Yeah.
My
It's
rap
just so,
collective, POI, you
so
know.
fucking
Well,
funny,
as
dude.
as a guy whose crew is called the Lobe Trotters Collective, I really felt that in my
Well,
bones.
like
I was
all I
like,
could
God damn it, he is me.
well, it was that, and then I just thought of POD, which was kind of that in my mind, was like the POD, like the youth of a nation. We're really mainstream, but we're really conscious of teen
Yeah.
suicide and real issues.
I
Please
have
pay
something I
attention
gotta
to
tell
us.
you. I have something I gotta tell you.
Do you know POD?
They're Christian rock.
Yeah,
Oh
I know
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
okay, yeah,
I
yeah.
only
So,
I'm
yeah.
buddy,
That's
I'm from the Midwest, my guy. I know that.
okay.
Buddy.
I my
Okay.
friends when I lived in Pittsburgh were forced to go to Sunday school, and I went just to hang out with them more, even though I didn't believe in it. And then if I continued going, I got to go to what was it called? Creation Fest, which is the biggest Christian rock fest
Good
that
lord.
played every year in Pennsylvania. And it
Good
was like
God.
Devil Wears Prada, fucking Flyleaf, Red, POD, My Children, My Bride.
This is some
Like
decent bands though.
yeah,
It's
and
like,
then they
who the
had like the
fuck?
Newsboys and shit headlining and Switchfoot headlined. I know my Christian rock. I'm from the fucking Bible Belt.
Okay. A lot of
Yeah.
people don't realize that, but that's the weird thing. Like we're not mainstream, but it's not
Mm.
because they were like elevated thinkers,
No,
it's because
Christ.
it's not cool to love Jesus.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah,
why
yeah.
it is cool
They
to
were
love
Yeah,
crusading
Jesus.
the
yeah.
they were crusading the Billboard charts is what they were doing.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And
Yeah.
then okay, like but like again, going back to that like music thing, even down to when what's his name? I forget the friend's name who dies. Who has the
That's
Kelso
the thing. I don't
girl.
remember a single
Yeah,
character's
yeah.
name
Oh,
because
oh,
I
his name was Danny.
Danny. Yeah, yeah, that's
Julian
right. Thank you.
Dennison is the actor of
Yes,
Beautiful
yes, dude.
Kiwi Boy.
Who's amazing.
yeah,
Amazing in
Deadpool. Was he the
fucking
kid in Deadpool 2?
yes,
The fire
Deadpool
kid?
2. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Also in the hunt for the what was
Red
it? It was
October.
no, it hold on. I have it
I
right
know.
here.
It's not
Hunt for the Wilder
Wildebeest.
People. Hunt for the
There you
Wilder
go.
People. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Such a good fucking movie. Go check that one out. Amazing. But his character, I love the fact that he tells him when he's like, "Why are you gonna bring the doll? Like, why do you have to bring this over here?" And he's like what you like. What the fuck? Like, and I love that
Yeah.
like that attitude about it. I was like, oh
And
fuck yeah, dude. And then like when he's
that's
dying, he says, "Do you?" Like I was like, that's
that's why I
awesome, dude.
wish I knew both of you when I was in high school because I was that fucking kid, not
Yeah,
the Kiwi, but
for
that kid. And
sure.
I needed one of those motherfuckers where I'd go to the
Yeah,
party and I would just be the meme of the guy standing in the corner with the party hat, being
yeah.
like, "Everybody hates me,"
That
and
was
then he
very
like
much me when I went over there this year.
and there was
Visit you.
yeah, I know. You're like, just fucking do it, pussy. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm sorry, I'll get drunker and I'll just make more of a fool, but I'll care less. But yeah, no, this movie, I really hate you guys. I love you guys,
I
but
love
like
you
I'm
too.
mad in this moment because like I didn't hate this movie. I just hated myself, and we learned something today. This movie was fun, but at the same
Yeah.
time, I don't remember a single character's name. I don't remember a single like
There are a
character.
lot of them though. I'll give you that.
There's a
There's a
lot, but at
lot
the
of
same
them.
time, these characters are less characters and they are more archetypes to fit nostalgia in. And this
Yeah,
really
for
did
sure.
feel like the antithesis. Like, this is like I saw the TV Glow came out the same year, which I keep referencing, but it's so ironic that like what that movie tells you to avoid. Not shitting on this movie, but this feels like the antithesis of that movie where it's like, this is like the fucking boots and cats and boots and cats. And like, I saw the TV Glow as like the Aphex Twins, where it's just like, vibe
That's
out,
so funny, yeah.
relax, don't get sucked into
For
bullshit. And this is
sure.
just like relive nostalgia, relive, and it's fun, but it's like
I
you got to go in with a certain mindset that I didn't go into it with.
Yeah.
I think some of the missteps in the movie though are they shouldn't have killed him so early.
No,
I will agree with
I was
that. Yeah,
pissed.
I
I
will
think
agree with that.
but
Yeah.
but I do think
He needed to
and
die, but I just
and
think he could have done it later.
yeah, and I do think that it's this is like an unfortunate thing to have to be the one to say, but the movie established already that because of his size and his weight, like riding the bike, like they rode over there hella slow. Like that was the joke, was that they were like looking like they were like going in the wind, but they were like going hella slow.
That shit was so funny.
But I feel like that's like a weird thing for them to be so realistic about. To like when he's like, "Leave me here," it's kind of like, it would be hard for them to
actually take him.
It was that,
for sure,
and
but I felt like that was a weird thing for them to be like so stuck up on.
For sure,
and he did, like, his mom was like pushing like the whole fucking, which was way too real. They were doing me. Tybo. My mom had every Tybo tape. What was it, Billy Bo or whatever? Oh, my mom had the fucking. Remember the plastic, the VHS tapes, but remember the big ones where it fits like 8 tapes and it goes like bop 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 bop. Like Billy. We in middle school. We did Tybo in gym class one day in like 6th grade. It wasn't middle school; it was elementary school. They were just like, "We have a substitute today," and I will never forget. He just puts on the projector, fucking that guy, like Billy Tybo or whatever his name is,
Billy Blanks from
Tybo. Yeah. And I fucking
so funny.
Loved that guy growing up.
The fact that he uses the Tybo to kill the fucking like machine.
Down.
I was gonna say that at the end when he said he saved us with Tybo.
And that's what I mean, where like everything calls back, and like I love Joey because when I see something like I pay attention to like the artistry and I pay attention to like the visuals, but I also pay attention to the script. But like talking to you guys all the time about movies, when I see something very like visually appealing, I'm like, Joey's gonna bring this up. Or when I see something very like script heavy, I'm like, Chad's gonna bring this up. And the whole time I'm like, I don't like this, but the script is solid. And I remember thinking like, I wouldn't have thought of this if it wasn't for Chad, because like everything that's brought up in the first 15 minutes is just used so perfectly in like its roundabout way of
they show you the gun very early and use it very effectively.
Everything like there was no tight logic in terms of like, where did this AI come from? What is the worldwide
even
impact?
How she defeats it, or where the fuck
like all of that was just complete
comes from.
All of that was just complete horseshit. That she's just like, oh, remember I coded that little flash animation on the school website? That means I can do viruses. And then even like, whatever.
Even the engineer boyfriend that's a hippie in college is just like, you think he's going to be like this like match that has to be met with our main character to fight for her love, and then he's just like, she goes up to him on like this like private moment. She's like, I can't do this. And he's like, but it's the end of the world. Like I figured. And she's like, I know, but I just can't go back. And he's like, honey, there's nothing to go back to. And she's like, I know. And that's just it. And like normally you get this like big like
it does
dick swinging content.
Yeah, it does.
But like that guy, by the end of the movie, like that engineer, like ex-boyfriend, is just rooting for our 2 main leads. And it was just like, okay, cool.
I love that as they're walking away, CJ goes, that guy is really handsome though, and ripped.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
No, but the moments of sincerity really actually did effectively land.
Oh my god,
they were really good,
bro. I was tearing up in a scene featuring William Frederick Durst, wherein a character is telling William Frederick Durst how much the music of William Frederick Durst has meant to her. And I'm like tearing up. I'm like, why? Oh my!
Because everyone knows it with their one artist.
Yeah,
everyone has felt that. I feel that. I can give you the exact year and date it came out.
The fact that they keep using Fred Durst to directly talk to him. They're like, yeah, what do you think, Fred Durst?
And that pissed me off in the moment, but now I'm just like, oh, I took it way too seriously. That's the stuff that pissed me off.
It was like a Scooby-Doo episode. It was I guess
it's kind of like you can't just call him Fred. Like that would feel weird. That would feel weird.
Scooby-Doo is a great way to put it, actually, because like there's a scene when they first meet this like good robot that's only good for 5 seconds. And like our engineer kind of sees it for half a second, says, hold on. He goes behind it. You literally see the editing of the frame of the movie cut, and then he has it dragging out. And I'm like, what is this? Like, that's the stuff that kind of annoyed me. But in hindsight, I'm like, this is literally just like, who was made by Scooby-Doo? Not Banana Rama.
Hanna-Barbera.
Bananarama. Yeah, fucking Hanna-Barbera. it felt like a Hanna-Barbera cartoon. Like so much of this movie was just like, I don't have an answer, but I need to get this joke out next. So just skip to this.
I love that Ash, when they're running over to the mall, Ash is behind him after that whole sincere moment. He's like, so what inspires you? And he's like, we'll talk about later.
Yeah. I love that. I thought that was hella funny. But I do think though, in terms of like the things that could have been better, I think the finale was a huge misstep. I think that it could have been a million times better. You're both about to agree that this would have been like the way to end the movie. What I thought was going to happen. So Fred Durst goes out and starts trying to like entertain everybody, and everyone hates him.
It's just so fucking good, dude.
And then eventually they play his cover of fucking George Michael.
Oh my God, dude, it's so good.
And so everyone can get around it. What I thought was gonna happen was when he gets to the part of his version when he's like screaming it, I thought everyone was just gonna start moshing and destroying the robots, because up till then,
that would have been incredible.
No one was really fighting back, and the robots didn't really do anything. So in the finale, it kind of just became like a big nothing.
That's
like all the robots just stand around, letting him like get on stage and do this.
One of the robots goes over and like turns on the light for.
Yep.
It was so weird. I think they could have done it where like the robots were trying to get to him, but the crowd was keeping them from him, and then he amps up the crowd and they start destroying stuff, and then that allows Laura to do the virus.
That was,
I think it was literally a moment where there's a line of dialogue where they say like, "Oh, we need to distract them," and then he says, "That's what I do best."
Yeah, but he didn't. But they didn't care. Like the robots just kept just pushing people and assimilating them in the line.
Because like the dad goes in to become assimilated during that. And like real quick, I just want to make sure, Joey, I heard him correctly. You said that the robot turned the light on. That was the main character, our white boy savior, our quirked up white boy goated with the sauce. Yeah, because he ran over because he started singing, and then like he's like, boom, and he pulls like the.
Oh, I thought it was the robot light on. Like, turned it
on. No, it's our quirked up white boy goated with the sauce, busting it down sexual style this whole time that saves the day with the lighting. But and then he runs in to find Laura with that whole fucking.
That's right. Yeah.
And then you got to put the condom on, and I'm like, here it is, the big vagina hole. You're fucking the robot with the vagina.
You've got to fuck it.
As soon as we're introduced to that condom, I knew. I was like, this is gonna come back with a fucking analogy.
I loved the AI construct animation.
I did like
that was so
his funny. Voice actor, I don't know who did it, but I liked it. You are fucked.
I loved when he pulled out the condom and when at first Laura goes, "Oh, okay." I thought she
was also gonna be down.
I thought she also misunderstood him, but then the AI goes, "Oh shit! Enjoy your first fuck, brother."
Well, I thought that's what I took. I thought that like she mistook him, and she was like, "Okay, yeah, fuck it, we're dead." And then the robot's like, "Hell yeah, brother, fuck her! Like you're gonna die anyway. Just go for it."
Yeah, I thought he was gonna have to be like, "No," but she like immediately was like, "Oh yeah, I'll put my hand in there."
It was so good.
God,
dude.
Yeah,
but I agree with you. The ending could have been a little bit stronger on that note. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they became kind of toothless because it's like a moment ago when they're infiltrating. There's like 10 robots standing outside, and they just run right in front of them, and they don't notice them. And then they go inside, and the little tiny robot that's launching CDs kills CJ. And
that part made me mad. I was actually, I gave a fuck about CJ.
I really wanted what a way to go.
What a way to go.
It was.
What a
I
way
don't think
to
you
go
guys heard me. I said I really wanted me to live.
I would.
No, and I didn't hear you, but I was literally about to say not because I was attached to him because of you. Yeah. But aside from that, he was genuinely my favorite character to the point where I liked him more than our lead. And I was like, you should be the lead.
I loved Fred Durst giving him respect and him not knowing what to do with it. Like, Fred, that's that elemental flow. And he's just looking at him like, what the fuck do I even say right now? And when Durst high-fived him, he was so fucking confused.
Yeah.
And then he's like, when he's cradling CJ's body.
Yeah, that's exactly
why.
What I'm yeah.
Why? I thought you hated me. Rap is rap. I was like, fuck, that's beautiful.
That
It really
fucking
is.
took me out, dude. That's what I'm saying, but that's what I
And
mean. All
then
of those like sincere moments about the music, like being like, yeah,
and there
just
was
like
like
what you
Just
like and be about it. I
I
fucking
I
love that, dude.
I just have to emphasize it again. The way that Fred Durst went, but I thought you hated me.
and with the subtitles, there was these
So
little bits
good.
in between him, like kind of like before he started singing Faith, when he was like free balling it, just kind of like trying to be like a comedian on
Yeah,
stage.
yeah.
He was like, so, anyways, on the Family
The
Values
family
tour, I'm gonna
values.
tell you why this happened. And I'm like, I know exactly what you're going to explain. And
Yeah.
then he's like, and then you come back out and it's like, so Christina at the MTV movie or
Yeah.
music awards, and I'm like, oh Jesus Christ.
It's so funny.
I hate that I know exactly what you're
So I
Yeah.
can
talking
sit next to
about.
Yeah.
Carson Daly and Fred Durst.
Exactly, Brett. Fuck yeah, dude. I don't know, man. And then, I think Ash might have been my favorite character. I think in general, just because of like it, like you said, the earnesty with which the
Was Ash the girl,
yeah,
the
yeah, with
lesbian?
Yeah,
the
Yeah,
with
me
the
too.
Slipknot shirt. Yeah, yeah,
Me
that's what I'm
too.
yeah. When they said that, when they showed like how much all of her male friends like made jokes at her
Yep.
expenses,
yeah.
at her expense.
Lachlan Watson, I think is their name. Yeah,
Because
Lachlan. I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
every single
That
movie
sounds
at
right.
this time would show that character as that joke. And like I do appreciate the fact where it's like we can look back on this time, but we can also acknowledge how fucked that is. So it's kind of
Yeah,
like implementing the new mindset of like kids that like kind of copy this aesthetic
yeah,
now that can
yeah, yeah,
appreciate this movie while
yeah.
also showing people our age that still don't get it because they have the emotional maturity of a cucumber. Like,
Stunted.
hey, maybe let's not sexualize a human being
Yeah,
as
yeah,
the
which I
equivalency
loved.
of
I
a
loved
fuck
that.
doll.
Yeah, dude, I loved that scene between her and CJ, which was
Yeah,
like, oh, like, well, that's kind of fucked up that like that happened, and they just make a
yeah.
joke about like the fact that you guys hooked up one time, and
Take
then
it,
she
you
was
little
like,
slut, when
yeah,
she's just
yeah,
drinking liquid, like
exactly, and then
everything.
he was just like, well, I don't know, it's funny, and he's like, how is that funny? Like, and then she was like, I don't know, we
I
just
don't
like
know.
hooked up. Yeah, he's just like, I don't know, and it was like, it was really, it was cool to see that on screen, and then right after that, immediately follow up with, I don't even know if I like guys, and
Yeah,
then like
Yeah.
they're just like, all right, like let's smoke, like
yeah,
I was
Well,
like,
yeah.
and
that's
And
well,
chill, dude.
but also there's a very small moment there where he reaches over and she
mhm.
flinches because she thinks he's trying to like feel her up.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yep,
And
that's
and
yep,
right,
yep,
and
that's
then
yep.
right, that's right,
then he
yeah.
goes, and she looks at him all crazy and he goes, "It's puff puff pass, not puff puff. Hold it till it goes out."
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Because she
And
says
yeah,
she's like she says she doesn't like guys. He does that, then he says that, and that was like the perfect roundabout way of
yeah.
like getting it across. And like as much as I've been comparing this to I Saw the TV Glow, this was a much more not conducive, that's not the word, but like quicker way to like get a point across than like the
Yep.
bleacher scene that we saw.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
that's like a whole fucking monologue that we get, and
Yeah.
like this is so digestible to
Mhm.
anybody,
I
like
think
even like
I think
stupider people, to put
I
it
think
meanly.
I think it's also because acceptance is like a big theme in this movie, but it's
Yeah,
not like I Saw the TV Glow is about being a gay or trans kid. It's about being a trans kid
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
true. Yeah,
more than
Yeah.
it,
anything.
Yeah.
But so this, instead of it being the whole thing, they distilled it down into that one scene
being a
because
freak.
it's part of the larger
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we just get that one very concise scene about like, yeah, I don't even know. This is how I'm treated by the people who are supposed to also understand being disenfranchised. And then she
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
realizes this guy actually gets it.
I
Yeah.
just think
Yeah.
I didn't like this movie because I've turned 30 this year and all these movies are coming out. And I don't know if it's a universal experience of turning 30 and being like, oh, I can be whatever I want to be. I don't have to perpetually act like I'm still a teenager in my mind mentally, and I
Yeah.
don't have to
Like
have
what you
people hate
like.
me. I can just like what I like. And all
Yeah.
these kids now that are like 17, these goddamn teenagers
They're
are
doing
fucking
that, just
being
that. They're liking,
themselves and
yeah,
they're
they're liking.
accepting themselves. And
That's
I resent
exactly,
that.
dude, that's
And I
exactly
feel like that's what
why.
that is.
Yeah, that's exactly why
Mhm.
this movie works, like you just said, because it bridges that gap, because it's exactly the type of like acceptance that's gone on today in today's culture, and like
Yeah.
how all of these things, like the nostalgia from the 90s, all of these things from the early 2000s, the fashion, the music, the movies, all of that stuff has come back around, and people are just knowing that it's okay to like these, and like how this movie shows them in the beginning, where it starts showing the separate groups. It's interesting how at the end that just all of the just gets dwindled away, and it just becomes okay, yeah, it's just people liking what they like. That's a great fucking like message for a movie. I did not expect that out of this movie, dude.
Yeah. And I think as well, there's a scene where like early on, CJ keeps saying like, all of this is corporate, all of this is mainstream, it's all watered down bullshit. If it's on MTV, it sucks. Like I don't listen to the radio at all. Hence why you guys associate him with me.
Hey, Chad.
Well, to be fair, I didn't listen to the radio either.
Chad, have you ever heard the song "Dance with the Devil"?
No, it's really deep.
That's real underground hip hop right there.
Listen, no, it's his mom. Do you get it?
Do you get it? No, but do you get it?
Do I get it? Yeah, I get it. The fuck? But God, totally knocked me off balance.
I'm sorry.
But so when they're in the woods and they're walking, when they're talking about different music and stuff, so the main character says that he likes pretty much all of it. Like he just likes music.
Yeah.
And then Laura says she doesn't really like music, and everyone looks at her like she's crazy.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
and it's because, like she said, I became popular, like it just happened. It's not like it was some master plan or anything. But I think she's lying to a degree, because like that is, as a high school kid being in that upper class, that elite class, whatever, like it's something that you do sort of strive for in some way. And if you got that handed to you, you would be like, oh, well, I'm going to continue to like do the trendy things so that,
how are you a high school Nepo baby?
You
know what I mean?
I do have experience in both sides, and that's the fucked part. You do kind of just get nepoed into popular, because like I've known people that I was friends with before I was, because you know how there's like that, like fourth grade, fifth grade, you become either a loser or cool, and then by like seventh grade, you're like, oh, you're popular or not. I was friends with people.
And then by ninth grade, you know whether you're going to get laid by the end of high
school. Well, yes, but like I was friends with like a couple people that became popular, and like I knew them for like 3 years, and I was a fucking loser because I was just like this. I'm a loser. I'm weird. I'm a weirdo. Why do you think I wear this hat? Because I'm in Riverdale, and my name is fucking
creep.
I'm a creep. My name's Cole Sprouse in the CW hit show Riverdale. But no,
it's crazy what qualifies as a hit show these days.
Hey, this was a hit show 10 years ago. Fuck you. That first 2 seasons were bangers.
Moving on.
That's like the garbage plate of fucking TV right there. But
is Riverdale 10 years old? That's
like 2014. Yeah.
Wild, yeah.
But
anyway,
fucking no, I was friends with the popular people, and I do remember being like,
2017.
I know you're a fucking loser, dude. Like, why are you so cool right now? And there is a level of like adhering to it, but that initial like you're welcome in here is, I feel, pure luck. Not luck, but like pure, just like you get the pass, and then it's either like you grab it. It's like politics. You got to grab it and like hold on to it, or you gotta like fall off of it, and be a good person. And there's those people that just kind of lean into it, like the new metal guy who was never popular, like the leader of that, who's just like, fuck you, you fucking pussy, I'm gonna fucking beat your ass. What are you, gay? What are you, redacted slur, redacted
slur.
Like you can do that and think you're popular, or you can just kind of like be popular. I don't know.
No, you're exactly
This
right.
movie is sending me in a crisis, and I want to go back to high school and start over. I hate this movie. I hate being 30.
Glow.
Shut up.
Y2K
it's this year. It's this year.
Life crisis.
It's 2024 because I've graduated 12 years ago and I'm turning 30, and I want to kill myself in Minecraft. I hate these movies. These movies suck. Yeah, I know I'm in Minecraft. Please keep talking about this movie. I'm going to stop talking.
God.
No.
I'm going to go on my phone.
I was gonna say, like, okay, everything about the movie just culminates into this, like, the scene where Fred Durst is on stage singing his faith thing, I think that's where the movie kind of culminates into, where it's like everyone is just kind of getting into it, and that's the whole message of the movie is just like what you like and just do whatever. I thought, and again, was not expecting that from this movie whatsoever. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, to finish my thought from earlier. So Laura says she doesn't like music, and I think that's just because she doesn't want to commit to anything and then have to like walk it back later. Because what if she says something that's not cool, and then she has to like, you know? So I
Yeah,
think
that's fair. Yeah, because
that
like
makes sense,
music
too.
is so categorical to like subculture, so that is very fair. She wants to be popular, so she wants to be like nothing rather than something. That I actually like
for
that a
sure.
lot.
Yeah.
It is the Taoist concept of pu. That is
Like, wait,
the
what?
that's how you spell it. It's
I
not.
know. It just we're
It's the
12.
it's the uncarved block. Like in Taoism, what you truly want to be is just unaffected by everything. So you don't want to be a sculpture chiseled over time to perfectly, purposefully be this one thing. It's supposed to be uh it's better to be the block of granite in its natural
Yeah.
state.
So
Letting the shit just kind of wash over you instead
so
of
like
actually.
in so Laura is taking the chisel to the granite and hitting it, and it's going poof like in SpongeBob, and it's becoming a perfect fucking statue.
Well,
But then
it's more like the opposite. That she's trying to remain the uncarved block, because if she commits to becoming any certain shape, that shape can be judged.
okay.
But if she is just the uncarved block, then she can. And this is the idea in Taoism as well. If you are the uncarved block, if you achieve that, then you're not affected by anything. And if you're not affected by anything, you're the coolest motherfucker ever.
Did you go to Warped Tour a lot, Chad?
No, like never
Oh,
actually.
I was gonna don't laugh like that's a fucking roundabout crazy thing. I was gonna ask because like in
It was a
Michigan,
sneak
whenever
diss.
whenever
Right.
whenever
Felt
Warped
that
Tour
shit.
came around to Michigan, they'd fucking have the Buddhists in the parking lot being like handing out free like
That's
Buddhist
hilarious,
Bibles.
dude.
I still have mine from 2012.
I actually learned this from a book that I borrowed from a really good friend of mine. It's called The Tao of Pooh, and it's about Winnie the Pooh
What the
exploring
fuck?
Taoist principles.
Is this a bit? Is this a
It's
joke?
amazing.
No, this is a
that
real
makes
book.
total sense too. What you just described.
It does, but
like,
it sounded
as a
so
character.
comical.
It's a really, really good book. Like it's definitely a like it's like a baby's first philosophy book, but it's really good.
I will
Oh
say
my God, it's real.
I did not expect Taoism to come into this fucking episode at all.
I'm buying this book. The cover
That's
alone has me
wild,
sold.
Yeah,
The cover alone.
yeah, it's like him flying a kite, right?
It's him holding onto a balloon with like kanji on the balloon and then
Okay.
like footprints.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, so it's just like Pooh, literally it's just this funny coincidence that Winnie the Pooh embodies the concept of Pooh.
Yeah, so this was written by
So
Benjamin
funny.
Hoff, former author of Tea of Piglet. So Tao of Pooh and Tea of Piglet. He has,
Interesting.
But it's
he
like
has
also, I don't
several
know. I feel like
variations.
the person who would have written that had that intention with that name, because that just
Oh
seems
yeah,
kind of
100%.
very, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I have no idea. It's
But
such a weird era of American
all,
art.
yeah, all that exactly.
It's like Hallmark movies being the gateway to Christianity.
Yeah,
Tao of
I was just
Pooh is
I was just making a very highbrow joke, and then it turned into an actual discussion. But basically, all of that gets washed away. All of their division gets washed away when Laura, the one who says she doesn't like music at all, breaks down, decides that they need some level of camaraderie, and starts singing Tub Thumping.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
And then literally CJ is doing the rap parts to fucking Chumbawamba.
Chumbawamba.
You know?
yeah.
And it's just like this kind of beautiful moment of them all just agreeing, like, and even like for me personally, like growing up, I'm like, yeah, no, I can admit now that like I just hated like boy bands because my sister played them all the time and we had, you know, sibling antagonism. And now as an adult, I'm like, yeah, some of these songs actually do kind of slap.
That
You know, like
production is insane on some of
like
those.
What
there's a
you
reason
say,
they made millions and millions of
Yeah,
dollars. You
what
know,
exactly.
you say right there as a straight man makes me feel my sexuality because man, oh man, did NSYNC do numbers for me? Fucking O Town, NSYNC,
Numbers.
fucking
I think for me it was mostly
oh.
just me and my sister being at each other's throat all the time and being like, I hate your music, mom. She listened to three
Okay, fair
songs. It's
enough.
time to put in my CD and listen to
It
three
literally
songs.
was just the divide for, oh, this is boys music and this is girls
I
music. You know
have
what I mean? That's
only
literally all
child
it
syndrome
was.
too. We have to acknowledge that much. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm just
And
saying, like
and
it.
now as an adult, I fuck with like Feist and Fiona Apple and
Oh,
all
Oh
these
the
yeah,
different
lesbian
yeah,
dream, Fiona
all,
Apple. Hell
all
yeah.
these different artists.
yeah.
Because like you're saying, Joey, as kids, we were just told like it's gay to listen to women
Yep.
make music.
It
It's gay
was
to listen to too many
it's
guys making music. Like,
Hmm.
what am
it's
I
gay
supposed
to
to
do
do?
that. And then like what I heard a lot, maybe it's a Midwest thing. I heard like it's gay to listen to boy bands because it's boys being gay, and it's gay to listen to Britney Spears because that's a woman telling you what to do. And then also
Yeah,
the thing that I heard the most, it's just racism at the end of the day. But it's rap is crap with a C. Like
but the
rap
C
is
Yeah,
is
crap.
okay,
silent.
yeah.
Yeah, but the C is silent. Yeah, exactly. Okay, thank you for filling it in because I
I
couldn't
also
remember the whole thing, but it was just like,
I,
oh, you listen to rap? Rap is crap, homie. Are
Yeah,
you
yeah.
kidding me?
I
For real? For
Stupid.
real? Yeah,
I remember
100%.
back in this day too, also being told that it meant redacted attempting poetry.
Jesus Christ, I
That's
swear to
not
God.
funny.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry,
No,
but it
no,
was
it's
I
shocking. It's shocking. I understand. Especially if you've never heard it. That's like fucking ridiculous, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like that used to be
it's
like
stupid.
constant. And
It's so stupid that it becomes smart again. Like that's the Ouroboros of mental retardation. Is
redaction.
that act redaction?
Redactation.
I'm saying it from a scientific standpoint. It's
Yeah,
mental.
exactly.
Like that is the
Stupid.
Ouroboros of that. You get so stupid that you become fucking creative. Like, oh my god, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, that's a ridiculous one, isn't it? But
Oh,
But you're exactly right though. Like I said, the movie has this theme of unity about it, kind of this undertone that's kind of always there and always present. And I love that because for years now I've been doing that same shit. Like I mean, yeah, growing up you fall into these same little stereotypes of like, oh, okay, like I only listen to fucking Slipknot and fucking what
mhm.
was it, Limp Bizkit and System of a Down. Like those bands are phenomenal. Those are still some of my favorite fucking bands to this day, but I also still love other music as well. And I still listen to like what was it? The other day I was just listening. Oh, I forgot.
you're
Like
either
some
a Jinko guy or a Trip Pants girly. There's one or the other. You gotta pick one.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh
Now I'm
man.
both. Now
I
I'm
was
absolutely both.
I was rocking the crew super slim 3% spandex like bro.
Yep.
I don't know how a single sperm cell survived.
Dude, and then
Oh,
the
wait, the
thong
stinger
song coming on in this movie, dude, that was
that
fucking amazing.
that
Oh
part
my
I
It
god.
liked
is
too
so
because
good.
it wasn't the choreography or lack
Yeah,
thereof
dude.
was so natural where like he got
He's
up on
like
the couch,
bumping
kind of
into
fell
yeah,
back, and they were like, whoa, but they still fed into it. It was so natural because I
so
like
good,
couldn't tell
dude.
if it was gonna be a moment where like two nerds try to party and they fail,
Hmm.
but then he just kind of leans into it, and I'm like, this is so natural.
I
I did
I
Yeah.
like that.
I was dying laughing at that part too about how Danny ends up like hooking up with that girl, and
Hmm.
I was just laughing about how like probably a lot of like incel pilled non fuckers were watching it and thinking
Non
like
fuckers.
I paused for the laugh.
We both said it at the same time.
They're incel pilled fuck minners, you know, they're not fuck maxing. They're Jack Max and fuck minners. Uh
Jack Maxing is the antithesis of fuck
That's,
Maxing.
oh my god.
fucking so those types would think like, oh, that's so unrealistic that this guy is hooking up. Like, oh my God, you know, oh yeah, women really like this big guy. You either die young enough to think that what men think is attractive is what women think is
Are you
attractive,
get old
or you
enough to
lit
see yourself become the villain?
or you live long enough to watch the big boys that you know just pipe down the entire town they live in. I won't say his name, but I have a friend who like he really showed me that. I was like, wow, that
Bro
is
made her swallow the entire kiwi, one would say.
yeah. It's true, man. Like a lot of women do love that body type. And
Oh
and
my
we and
god.
we as guys have
Yeah.
like a completely different
Yeah,
wiring and
like
mindset.
wiring. Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah,
you
I
yeah.
go
love
like, oh yeah, realistic. And I'm like, nah, dude, if you knew the numbers
Very
that this
I
realistic.
do
motherfucker
Yeah,
put up.
I do love going.
just the way Joey's like, I know how
No,
much
yeah,
I
100%. Yeah, no, totally.
he's like,
I can't speak.
I had both my elbows
No,
just last night.
no,
Just
not from
puppeteering two
experience.
women.
Not from experience, but I definitely had bigger homies like when I was growing up that were just fucking laying waste to the land.
Like just swinging that
Yeah,
fucking telephone pole
absolutely.
around.
Absolutely. You're
I
fucking-
do love going to the gym the last like year and like realizing that like growing up you realize like, oh, eating disorders are a thing, but it's mainly women. But then
Oh my
realizing that
God,
like the
dude.
gym is just the male eating disorder.
Yes.
Like it's just 100% like muscle dudes just have eating disorders. Like I want to be like them, but that's because I
Oh my
also have known I've
God.
had an eating disorder for like 10 years and it's
God damn it, dude.
100% like bro, just pipe her down, just be busting it down sexual style for real, for real. Be the goat, be the cool man on the block. Be the Mark
Oh,
Wahlberg
man.
minus the fucking hate criming
Yeah,
because it's
yeah, yeah,
1999 and you'll be
exactly.
great.
Oh
Like you'll be
man,
great.
Yeah, yeah.
verified.
Verified. Yeah, yeah,
Google it,
exactly.
Google it. You'll be
Google
shocked.
it.
You'll be
It's not even.
shocked.
Exactly. You remember Ted puts a new spin on that one.
Do people not know about that? I thought that was like a common thing.
No, I
No,
had to
I mean,
explain it to a couple people
I
actually.
didn't.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I didn't
Yeah.
know about it until a few
So
years
Mark
ago.
Wahlberg
Yeah.
beat a Taiwanese man blind for being Taiwanese in the streets of LA in the 1980s
Beat
and was screaming Taiwanese slurs at him
Yeah,
for being
yeah.
Taiwanese.
literally, and again, I just underlined, beat this man until he became
Blind. Yeah, he
And
blinded
then
him. That's literally
to this
like,
day
yeah.
is when it's brought up, he's like, I prayed to God about it and I
Yep,
found
yep,
forgiveness.
yep. He
Mhm.
says he forgave himself.
Mhm.
So I don't
So
have
he's
to
good.
say I'm
so he's
sorry.
good. So everybody
Yeah.
relax. Nobody.
And that is
bring it
white
up.
privilege. That is just
Yeah.
the ultimate like
Yeah.
banger of being me, where it's just like, man, I know I fucked up, but I'm sorry. So I get to just say new game plus, you know? Like
Yeah.
I get to carry over the same fucking bank account and weapons. We're just starting over. It's cool. I didn't just play all of The Last of Us and I'm
New
stuck on
Game
that
Plus.
rope like fucking new game plus setting.
New Game Plus is so
It is.
fucking
It's new game
accurate.
plus mode.
God damn it, that's too accurate.
That's
I just beat Elden Ring. You can't bring this shit up. Right
that's what it's gonna be like when Elon finally gets killed. Excuse me.
Oh my
Finally
God.
gets done.
Nerfed.
Finally gets done killing monkeys in lab tests with Neuralink, and it eventually works. That's what they're gonna be doing is just uploading and putting it in the kid.
What if
That's gonna be the generational?
What if
Oh my
Neuralink doesn't actually happen and it stops with the
It won't.
monkeys and the Neuralink goes into the monkeys and that's what starts the
It
first
won't.
Planet of the Apes?
Planet of the Apes. That's exactly what I was gonna say. We can't harp on this. Okay, is there anything else we want to talk about with this movie?
I do gotta say right now, I do like this movie now. You guys made me like this movie because I was too hard on
yeah.
this movie because I thought it was gonna be a fucking hereditary generational trauma elevated horror, but I also realized that this is crippling and
That's
like
not
insulting.
what we need right now.
It's
This
insulting
is
my
what we need right
age.
now.
And then I realized Hereditary came out almost 10 years ago in 2 years. So I'm realizing that I am old and elevated horror was outplayed 5 years ago before COVID, like 2019. It kind of died out with Midsummer. And then I was just like, man, I'm old. So I just hated this movie. This movie's a banger. This movie's fun. You just got to not be 30 this year and you got to enjoy.
We rate these movies on the quickies by horns up or horns down. Should you go see them? Can you wait? Clearly, Austin's is horns up.
No, it's like a middle point. It's like but it's not. Oh, my hand disappeared. It's
with
like
a low taper.
Yeah, it's a horns up with a low taper fade. It's a horns
limp
up.
horns up.
Yeah, it's a little like it's a gay horns up. It's like it's a horns up that's queer coded. It's
It's a
Hercules
limp
Hades.
biscuit horns
It's
up.
Disney's Hercules Hades horns up. Slightly queer coded, fucking horns up.
James Woods just has to be gay, right?
Yeah, I would imagine.
Thank you. This is so not talked about. Like that man is probably straight, but like he's so gay though. Like I've thought about this where I'm like, that man is such a gay man, but he is a straight man.
If you found out that James Woods and Jeff Goldblum 69'd each other, you'd be like, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
no, 100%.
Exactly. Like, yeah.
I'd be like, oh yeah,
like, okay.
crossover here.
Wouldn't bet
we got it. Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well,
they met in the hallway.
Anyway, I absolutely horns all the fucking way up. Like this movie is so much fucking fun. It is hilarious. It has great kills, great message. Weirdly enough, I think this is a really good one to show younger audiences, to be honest. Like it's a really, really good movie. And I think a lot of younger audiences will eventually flock to this movie. I think it's going to get a really, really good like following. But yeah,
man, I gotta go watch mid-90s.
It's good. It's good.
Mid-90s.
I did like that a lot.
Good. Yeah, it's a good one.
That was actually incredibly good.
Yeah, it's a really good movie.
It's more of a dramedy.
Very much dramatic. Yeah, very much dramatic, but it has a really good like that tone of a 90s movie.
If you were a skater, which you were, that's like what it predominantly revolves around.
Yeah.
Being a white boy and a skater in the suburbs. Like,
yeah, you'll fuck with it, Chad, actually. Yeah, you really like it.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then but what do you think about this one though?
Oh yeah, horns all the way up. This is a really, really good movie. Like I said, it's not like super cerebral. It's not like you sit down and go like, oh yeah, it was really believable and realistic how all this stuff happened. Says the one who
brought up Taoism.
Yeah, I was mostly just making a joke, but
it was good. No, but it worked though. Completely.
It was a good chance to plug a very obscure book that I love.
There you go.
So it worked out. But yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. It's so fucking funny. I was laughing the entire time. It's probably more of a comedy than a horror, but it's not like, there's always a fine line with these kinds of things because either it's like completely not scary, which like this, wasn't really scary at all, in a bad way. This it worked. It was fine. Or it just is it a lot of times where it's like, okay, you should have just made a comedy movie because there's not really a lot of horror going on. There was like the correct balance, like Idle Hands, like this struck that good balance.
I've seen people talking about that being a reminder of.
I would say like Scream is a comedy that relies more on horror, and Psycho Gorman is a horror that relies more on comedy, and Idle Hands and Y2K are right in the middle. They're good, like in betweeners.
Yeah. I think Idle Hands is a comedic horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
This is a horror comedy in that it's a comedy that is the jokes are informed by using the tropes of horror.
Yeah.
Opposed to like Idle Hands is a horror movie that's funny. But no, I really enjoyed it.
That's good, man. Yeah, no, so please go check this one out. I really think I'm excited to see what else Kyle Mooney does and if it's gonna be with A24. I really think this was like he found a really, really good home with this company just to be able to like put this movie specifically out. Because I really do like we were talking about, this kind of feels like he's been working his whole career up to this point, to like this specific project. And I don't know, I fuck with it, man. It's a really good fucking time. The soundtrack was great, man. Hearing all those bangers come on, I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I want to say what I was expecting from this movie is more like, I've been seeing trailers for it. It comes out this Friday. Technically, we're recording this on Sunday, so this week. It's called The End, and it's a Neon distributed Tilda Swinton movie, and it's a musical about the end of the world. And like, if Kyle kind of does, that's the vibe I was kind of anticipating from this.
Yeah,
but I totally am on board with this. It's a soft dicked horns up. But yeah, you know, like it's like a 60% chub. It's not a full 100, but it's not a 40. It's above a 50, but it's not fully hard. But yeah, what you were saying about like how you hope it's a limp biscuit. It's a limp biscuit. Yeah, exactly. But what you were saying about how you hope he does more, I would hope, or I do hope he does something more like that in the future, because that'd be cool to see, because that's what I was anticipating. That was the example I couldn't think
man.
of.
I'm telling you, I think you guys will fuck with Spree.
I wanted to see that when it came out, and I forgot about it.
Yeah, in the vein of Creep, I think that one's a little bit more of a comedy.
Yeah, it's like Twitch, but
good.
Creep.
It's really good, dude. Like it surprised me with like some of the kills and stuff, because that's the thing. Like we kind of got into it, but like the kills in this were pretty creative, to be honest. Like they were really, really good. And in that one, he does a good way of like finding creative ways to do kills within the found footage genre, which is pretty interesting to me, because you know we love our found footage movies here, clearly, but we, you know, some of them can get tropey sometimes, you know, where we know this is gonna be a scare, or we know this is gonna be a thing. We're like, this is just a dude live streaming a killing spree. It's super fun, dude. Like,
just guys being dudes.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so we got to cover that one.
I say.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely cover that one for sure. The I think, did we already? Yeah, we teed up the next episode on Dead or Alive.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah, it's Magic next week. That's right. Yeah, hell yeah, I'm very excited about that one. So next week you guys get Magic. You want to hit them with the plugs, or do you want me to?
It's Austin's turn.
I
do it a lot.
Do it,
brother. Oh my god. Okay, so if you want to follow us, if you want to tag along, if you want to be parasocial with this ragtag group of degenerates, you can go on Instagram, you can go on TikTok, you can go on Facebook, you can go on Gmail and look up the Devil's Work Pod or the Devil's Work Podcast. We're gonna be there. We're gonna be immediately notified when you tell us all of your bad opinions, or when you want to send us bad fanfic of Joey or myself or Chad. You can find us there. You can send us questions. You can send us concerns. You can send us comments, or you can just rip us apart. One of us will get off to it if you rip us apart, if you send mean things to us. We're not going to tell you who necessarily, but it might happen. Yeah, but reach us at the Devil's Work Pod or the Devil's Work Podcast on all social media platforms, and we will get back to you with scathing comments.
And for those of you who enjoy video games and all that stuff, I'm now a Twitch streamer, so go and check that out. PsydeShow, twitch.tv/PsydeShow, PSY, spell it right. We also do movie watch alongs on there for movies that we cover on the show too, so it's a good chance to come and hang out. I get pretty fucking stoned and just watch dumb shit and scream at the TV while I fucking suck at Elden Ring. So come check it out. It's a lot of fun. Saturdays.
I have one last question for both of you. One last question. When you saw this movie, did you see a trailer for the movie Companion?
No.
I missed all the trailers.
I was gonna say, I think I walked in.
Look up it said from the creators of Barbarian, so I don't know if it's from Zach.
I might have seen it then.
It was like the girl and the guy at the table, and it's the guy from The Boys. It's Dewey from The Boys.
No,
and they're at the
I haven't seen it.
Just look up Companion movie.
Yeah.
Everybody listening to this, look up the trailer for Companion. That shit looks wild. And I was like, I can't remember the last time I saw a trailer and got excited and also didn't know where it was going. Like it was an artful, like elevated trailer, which I never thought I'd say.
Cool.
So go see that.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely check that out. We'll be back. We're probably gonna do a lot more quickies. I will say, this might be our last quickie of the year.
Unless you want to do, horror wise, I'll do Baby Girl. That's my most anticipated movie.
I know you will, fucker.
Shut the fuck up. Shut up. We're not getting into that. But the point is, it's going to be a really good fucking movie.
This fucking guy wants to do a Nora.
Yeah. I'd be down
for a Nora.
I love that.
Dude, Baby Girl looks like Saltburn, but good. And I'm so down.
Anyways.
Fucking this guy just typed it on AIM NEWAYZ .
So stupid. So yeah, so I will say that this was our first year of Icky Quickies. That's fucking cool. Thank you, Austin, for bringing this to the table, and thank you to you guys for listening along. I think that our substance episode did probably the best one out of these ones, like out of the quickies.
And you're welcome to AMC for the $400 I've spent in tickets this year.
Yeah. Thank you, Imagine. Thank you, Imagine Canton, and you're welcome. You're welcome, Imagine Canton and Novi. You're welcome. I love you. Give me a discount code already.
The next time I run into one of these fuckers, I'm gonna say, I pay your salary.
Yeah, exactly. All right, you guys. We'll see you next time. Thank you for joining us. And yeah, I don't know, man. It's my birthday, so just go smoke weed. That's
go smoke weed and go fuck yourself. How about that? Just...
Happy birthday, PsydeShow. I was gonna mention something, but I didn't know if you wanted us to.
You're good. I don't give a fuck. I appreciate you.
You're not having.
He's not having an existential crisis like I did in May. It's fine. He's like happy with it for some reason, and I'm not jealous at all. I'm not resentful at all of that.
We love you guys out there. Like what you like. Listen to what you listen to.
Exactly.
And it's cuffing season, so get you a big boy.
Get you a big boy so you can dump him before Valentine's Day.
Hey,
have a good night.
Amen. God damn, dude. Why?
That's what everyone does. They get a boyfriend and girlfriend in November. They dump him by February.
Austin weighing in for the twink community.
It's otter. I'm an otter. I'm a hairy boy with a slim, thick waist.